Well, good morning, everyone. I know there's only 4 of us here, but I've had experience in this area before. One semester I only had 3 students in the Aural skills class, and that was all the people that were enrolled. So I mean, I'll as long as I can stay healthy and I can continue to be here, I'll continue to hold class even if there's just I guess as few as 2 of them. So I've got no homework to return to you because I didn't collect anything last time we met. However, I am going to collect a page out of your training book today. Because both of the things you have today were on quiz pages. I would like to, as a new item, I'd like to collect triads, page 17 today. Your identification of major versus minor triads. That should be page 17 in your training book. And I'm hoping that this will be an assignment that will be one where I can, give a lot of good grades because, you're really just listening for major versus minor, and I'm hoping you can hear the difference. And if that's the case, then again, like I said, I'm hoping to be able to give out a lot of good grades on this assignment. So make sure your name is on the page somewhere as usual, and I'll come around and pick those up, and I'll try to get those back to you as best I can next time, on Thursday. Although I haven't looked yet, I have noticed that there are a few people in here that have thankfully sent in a video of their rhythm quiz. Those of you that haven't, I just want to put in a plug and say I believe it's due on Thursday this week, because that's the last class day where we have rhythm being assigned for this unit out of the sightseeing book. So just want to remind you that try to get it into me no later than the end of the day on Thursday. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and, since I did not collect page 7, the interval page out of your book, I'd like to take a few minutes and I'd like to show the interval answers up on the screen. So if you'll turn in your training books to page 7, we'll take a look at the intervals that you were meant to listen for. The majority of them on this page, of course, were perfect fifths and diminished fifths, or perfect fifths, I should say, and tritones. But then there were some cumulative intervals as well at the bottom of the page from 16 through 25. So anywhere in my answer key, anywhere that the book, the answer says diminished fifth, if you had tritone or augmented fourth in those same locations, that would be still considered 100% correct, and you would get full credit. So let's take a look at some of these line by line. Number 1 through 5, you can see all of them were perfect fifths except for number 2, which I would accept tritone for, augmented fourth, or diminished fifth. Number 6 through 10, again, all perfect fifths except for number 7, which was a dissonant tritone, diminished fifth, or augmented fourth. However you wanted to label that one. Moving right along, numbers 11 through 15, all were perfect fifths here except for number 14, which is a tritone again. And remember, you just have to enter the interval you hear in the blank. You do not have to write all the notes to spell the interval in the staff, not in this class. And finally, we'll get to cumulative intervals. This is where you really see how you're doing. For some reason, they gave you 3 perfect fifths in a row for 16, 17, and 18. 19 was a perfect fourth, and 20 was a tritone. And then last but not least, 21, minor third, 22, tritone, 23, perfect fifth, 24, major second, and 25, perfect fourth. 25, perfect fourth. I don't know the math off the top of my head, although it wouldn't take too much. You could just get a calculator out on your phone. But, you know, I'm thinking if you're missing like 5 or more out of 25, there's probably there's probably too many, okay? I'd like if you could get within missing like 4 or no more than 5 for every 25 intervals that you hear, that would be recommended, that would be ideal. And as you know, if this is troublesome for you, if you're not getting this to the extent and to your satisfaction, then please let me know or Micah know, because we're here as resources available to help you and work with you on specific things like this. Without anyone else present, if you just want to work on it by yourself, you can get the time and the attention that you need. Does anyone have any questions about any of these? Does anyone want to see any one of these again before I take it down? All right. Then, let's shift gears to the sight singing book for a little while. In the sight singing book, I'd like you to open up to page 21. We'll go through the standard, I don't want to say drill, but the standard procedure I usually do. I like to choose one melody that I have assigned for today, that's due today, to sing all together, to warm up our voices on. And then after that, I'll draw a couple names from the bag, although I have a feeling that the choices are going to be limited based on the fact that we only have a handful of people here. But I'll cross that bridge when we get there. So on page 21, take a look at melody 243. 243. This is the one we're going to sing a scale for, arpeggiate the tonic triad, and then sing as a class together. Who can tell me the key of 243? E flat major. 3 flats, yep, E flat major. All right, everyone sing with me. I don't want to sing solo. Here we go. Ready? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. And arpeggiate. Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. Who can tell me what we're doing with the right hand to perform 243? Conducting, that's very good. And what note duration are we tapping based on the meter signature? The quarter note, very good, yes. So we don't have to pretend we're tapping 8th or 16th and going, double speed or anything like that. We're just going to take a calm pace by tapping the quarter note. I'm going to trust that that's close enough to the E flat. I'm trying to remember it. So pick your, we start on Do, pick your octave. Do, Do. And here we go. Let's sing it together. How about a tempo of 1, 2, 3. Do, do, ti, la, ti, do, re, mi. pretty brief. The times that we do these when we sing together in class, this is excellent time for you to work on, especially if the conducting or the tapping or the coordination of the hands is not quite there yet. This is excellent time to get good practice doing that and ironing that out. Okay, we're going to sing it once more. I'll check the pitch, even though I don't believe I need to. All right, here we go. Last time through from the beginning. 1, 2, 3. Do, do, ti, la, ti, do, re, mi, re, do. Re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, so. La, ti, do. Yeah, just like that. Okay. So by now we've been here 7 weeks. You kind of get a good idea of what I'm asking you to do in this class, sightseeing-wise, what I'm requiring. I'm hoping that you're getting a crystal clear idea, so you know where I'm trying to set the bar. I'm trying to set it high, but I'm not trying to set it so that it's so high that it's out of reach and impossible to get to. Okay? But I do want to challenge you. That's why you're here, so that you can be challenged and you can work on things and improve and get better. All right, with that said, let's see here. Kelsey has sung, Lauren has sung, Becca has sung, Megan has sung. I guess, Sammy, you're the only one that hasn't sung yet. So I'll give you your choice. I was going to choose either 245 or 247 today. Just take a moment to look at those and just let me know which of those two you would like to sing. They're both one-line examples. Let's see, one is in, nope, they're both in the bass clef, and they're both conducting examples as well.
Okay, how about 247?
247. Okay, wise choice. That's in the same key that we just sang in. So I'm going to give you that pitch again, and I'm going to ask you to sing a major scale. Are you, well, let's see, can you sing up that high? Just for the high note?
I can try right now.
Okay, well, I don't know that you'll go, I'm not looking at my page right now. I don't think you go all the way up to a high do. Okay, well, let's just give this a try at least for here for the scale. Okay, with hand signs. Sounds good. Now, looks like you start on do, right? Then I had mentioned this was a conducting example. Do you know what conducting pattern you're using? Yep, good. All right. I'll let you start whenever you're ready.
Listen, I'm having it eighth notes, right?
Okay, for this one, the eighth note is the beat. So you have to tap the next shorter, quicker duration, which is what?
16?
The 16th, that's right. So you're tapping the pace, the rate of the 16th notes. So it looks like you'll need to, for the first measure, tap 4 times, right? Because a quarter note equals 4/16. Do you still have your pitch? Let me give you your pitch again. Just so you can start on a strong do. Make sure you start on the downbeat. So you're going to go down with your hand like this. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, not bad at all, not bad at all. I think it could be improved just a little bit. Can we do it one more time? And make sure that you hold the first note, because it's tied across the bar line. Make sure you hold it. Do, re, do, ti. So really you gotta hold it for 6 complete taps. Okay. Hey, that was a lot better. I like your rhythm. That was so accurate that time. Careful, the highest note you had there, the mi, I think you could just go up a little higher, a little more breath support for that. Do, re, mi, re, do, so that the mi isn't a little flat. Nice job. Okay, thank you. No one else here to quiz on, so what we'll do is we'll go to the melody that I wanted to look at that's assigned for next class. By the way, if you're paying attention to your assignment sheet, it looks like there's only, well, I guess I could put it this way. Next Tuesday, a week from today, we're going to start reviewing for the next test already. Okay? So this is the last week where we're dealing with practice for the various things that will be on the test. And I'd like for you to turn ahead to page, oh, you're already there probably, page 22. Look at melody 250. 250. Technically, it's not a single line melody. Technically, it is a duet. Now, I don't know that have I assigned duets in this class before? Okay, it's nothing really major, nothing really that big of a deal. Just for duets, I just want you to be able to rehearse and practice both of the lines. Obviously, you don't need to sing the lines together because I can't sing more than one note at a time simultaneously. But for instance, for 250 and 251, which I believe are assigned for next class, just treat 250 as there's a couple short melodies to learn. And then 251 also, there are a couple short melodies to learn. The up stem melody and the down stem melody. Okay. You don't know, for example, well, those that will be here next time, they won't know if I'm going to ask them to sing an up stem line or a down stem line from a duet, but I sometimes do that when I quiz and when I test. So 250, this shouldn't give us too much trouble. I'm not anticipating any problems, but okay, first easy question, what key is 250 in? C major. Good old C major, no flats, no sharps. We're going to sing a C major scale and arpeggiate the tonic triad. And then what we'll do is we'll each read through the top line, the top line, the up stem line together. Then we'll sight read the bottom line, the down stem line together. And then I think we have enough here to put three per part and divide up and sing it as a duet. So let's do it that way. Maybe we can finally make some harmony together. All right, C major scale first of all. Here we go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. And let's arpeggiate that chord. Do, high, if we start on the high do, do I have any sopranos in here? Okay, a couple. Maybe you can help carry us for those. Looks like it gets up to a mi, which is not too high for sopranos, but it would be for altos and basses. Okay, so this is hand signing example, as you can see. Let's go ahead and sight read just the up stem line, the top line together. Starting on do, ladies. Right there. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and read. Do, ti, do, re, do, okay. Now let's sight read the bottom line. This is more in my wheelhouse. This is all stepwise, so again, I don't anticipate too many problems here. So find your do, do or do, whichever octave you want to begin at, and we'll sight read the bottom line. 1, 2, ready, and go. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. Very nice, thank you. That's how we're doing. I don't want to get too sharp, that's for sure. Okay. Now comes the moment of truth. How about, I don't know, can we have the 3 ladies in the front? Kelsey, Becca, and Megan. Could we have you be a group? And could we have the 2 ladies in the back, and I'll sing with you, we'll be a group. And I'll give you, since you guys are, I assigned your team first, do you want the up stem line or the down stem line? Or does it not matter to you? Down stem, okay. So we are, ladies in the back and myself, we are going to sing the up stem line. Ladies, your note is going to be, and ladies in the back, your note is going to be, unless, ladies in the back, unless you want to sing it an octave lower. That's fine. Okay, everybody got your note, everybody got your part. Let's give it a whirl. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just it's not a strong number of voices, but it's just enough to hear the nice, clean, clear intervals. I really like that. I think we need to do it again, but this time we're going to switch parts. Okay? So now the ladies up front, I want you to sing the up stem line, and ladies in the back plus myself will sing the bottom line. Find a do. Think of where your do is. Here we go, one more time through. Over a tempo of 1, 2, ready, and sing. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. Do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. That's pretty neat. It almost, even though they didn't use these intervals way back when, but it almost makes me think of like when, well, I digress, when polyphony first started back in, I don't know, we could even go back to the 9th or the 10th century back there. And they just used to sing, well, you know what they used to sing back then. right? They used to sing perfect fifths and perfect fourths. Or they used to sing things like, chant, we talked about it. All right. Well, that was good. I feel like we did what we needed to do to rehearse and practice with our singing today. All right, so you can go ahead and put that book away for now. I'm going to shift gears to ear training since we're a little over halfway through the class. And depending on how much time we have, I might have two things for us to do, but if it takes longer to do the first thing than I anticipated, then we won't have time to do the second thing. We'll just do the one thing. The main thing I want to get across to you and cover today is I'm going to add another triad to the mix for our ears to distinguish among. So far we've been dealing with the major and the minor triad, just hearing the difference between those. But now I'd like to throw in the diminished triad into the mix. Okay, so to choose from, when you hear me play a triad at the keyboard, to choose from major, minor, or diminished. Eventually, you'll need to be on page 20 in your ear training book. I hope that I have not asked you to tear that page out of your ear training book yet. Page 20. You all have that page still? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter if I just write them in syllables or if I write them as notes on the staff. Our major triad in this class, Do, Mi, Sol. Our minor triad in this class, Do, Me, Sol. And the diminished triad in this class, we're going to use these syllables for Ti, Re, and Fa. I know I've been saying this a lot, both in this class and in written theory class, but which one of these three triads is considered to be a dissonant triad, a harsh sounding triad? We've talked about this. The diminished triad is considered to be dissonant. In other words, not everything sounds perfectly pleasant when we're listening to a diminished triad. I'll even list that over here. The other two triad types I have up here, major and minor, are classified or considered to be consonant triads. Relatively pleasing sounds to our ear when they are played or when you hear them. Now, if it isn't, if I haven't mentioned this before, I may have, but if I haven't, the diminished triad is going to be the last triad type that we learn and listen for to identify by ear in this class. I know that there are such things as augmented triads, and you know that as well. But because the augmented triad is so rare and hardly ever heard and used in music, I'm not going to even introduce or mess with the augmented triad in this class at all. So the most we're ever going to do for triad identification is distinguish among the major, the minor, and the diminished. And the next ear training test, whenever that is, will have several triads for you to listen for and identify as major, minor, or diminished. Okay? Now, I'm going to play these three triads at the piano, and then we're going to vocally sing them. We're going to vocally arpeggiate them. just as a recap, the reason that the major and the minor triads are considered to be consonant is because their outside interval between the lowest and the highest note is a consonant interval. That is a perfect fifth. The reason the diminished triad is considered a dissonant chord or harmony is because the outside interval here, for instance, T up to Fa, that is not a consonant interval, it is a dissonant interval, namely a diminished fifth. Okay. All right, let's play the number piano first of all. Major, minor, and diminished. Now, in my experience, some students have trouble, they confuse the sound of the minor triad with the diminished triad. I think you need to let the sound, after you hear it initially struck, I think you need to let it set or soak into your mind. For instance, this one right here, I think if you let it soak in your mind, you're going to hear that it's a minor triad. But something like this is contrasting as dissonant. That is a dissonant sound. And the outside interval there is the dissonant diminished fifth versus the perfect fifth. So just be careful when you hear something that doesn't sound major. Many students tend to just kind of lump these two together and confuse the two. But just because something is not major doesn't mean it can't be considered consonant. And when you hear a minor triad, you have the outside interval of a perfect fifth. Hopefully that'll register with your ear, and you say that sounds, it doesn't sound, bright and happy, of course, but it doesn't sound really harsh or strident either, like the diminished triad, okay? So, again, I like to say that the major triad sounds bright, maybe happy or peppy. The minor triad can sound sad, but not crunchy or dissonant. The diminished triad, however, sounds harsh. You can think of it as clashing, crunchy, dissonant overall sound. Okay? All right, now, let's go ahead and vocally arpeggiate these three types of triads up and down. I know we haven't sung the diminished triad up and down yet, but we'll get practice in that. Okay, we're going to use that as our do. And I always hand sign when I do these. Okay, let's sing an arpeggiate a major triad. Ready? Do, mi, sol, mi, do. Now the minor. Do, mi. Diminished. Ti, re, fa, re, ti. Let's go back to the major. Do, mi, sol, mi, do. Yeah, I couldn't let just that dissonant triad, I couldn't let that just hang out there and not sing anything after that. I wanted to resolve it to something that was more consonant. I've talked to you about the hand sign for May. Have I mentioned that before in this class? Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead now and try some exercises. As I said, on page 20, I think we have time to go through all 10 of them here. Your choices for the triad types on page 20 are these three. It's major, minor, or diminished. I'm not even asking you to spell the triad in the staff above the given root. You just have to identify the type to the best of your ability. So let's go to the piano and listen to these. Remember, I get to play each of these triads twice, although unfortunately I do not get to separate the individual notes and play them separately in the triad. Okay? You just kind of have to hear the whole, try it as a block of sound and decide whether it's major, minor, or diminished. So number 1, you can see is in the, they give you the clef, right? Number 1 is in the bass clef. Yeah. Okay, here's the sound of number 1. Here it is again. Number 2. Again. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Finally, number 10. let's see how you did. I'll go ahead and ask the various students. It's okay if you give the wrong answer or you're not sure, that's perfectly fine since we're just starting this. I'll go ahead and replay them if necessary. Let's see, let's start with number 1. How about Becca? Diminished, that's right. Number 1 was diminished. Number 2, what do you think, Megan? Major, that's right. Very good, that was major. Number 3, what do you think, Kelsey? Major, that's absolutely right. Correct. Number 4, what do you think, Sammy?
Diminished.
Diminished, that's right. You are correct. Number 5, Lauren? You think?
Minor.
Yeah, minor, very good. That was a minor one. So I'm glad that you heard the difference then between a diminished in number 4 and minor in number 5. Okay, very nice. We're back to the front here. Becca, what about number 6? Diminished. And Megan, number 7. Minor. Yeah, very good. Good job. Number 8, Kelsey? Major. That one was really low in the pit. I don't know if you find it a little harder to hear. I think it's still high enough that you can pick out the individual pitches. But I mean, if I were to play it an octave lower, I think it would be hard to tell. I mean, it's possible, but I think the more extreme you go into the low range, I guess, and even the high range, the harder it is. Number 9, what do you think, Sammy? Diminished. Number 9 was diminished, you're right. And then number 10, Lauren?
Major.
Major. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is very encouraging. I'd like to hear that. I don't know if you, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the absolute hardest thing you can imagine, and 1 being super simple and easy, where would you rate this kind of listening task? I'm just curious. Would you give it like a 3, like something easy, or would you give it like an 8 or 9? You'd say 1?
I have been taking piano for a while,
Okay.
and I did like festivals and like state, so I had to do ear training tests every time. So
Okay.
I've been doing this for a while, so it's easy for me.
Okay, well, good for you. We'll take anything that's easy, right? Anyone else? Would anyone put it at something higher than a 1? It's gotta be, I don't know, it depends. I'm seeing a 3 perhaps over here. Well, it's not the hardest thing in the world. You may have heard, you may not know, but you may have heard a famous piece where it's in the key of G minor, and there is a tonic note that just kind of sits very strongly like this. And then above that tonic note, there are diminished triads. I don't know if you've ever heard something like that. It's a kind of an interesting sound. And then after that, you get to a major triad. So composers really do use these to their full advantage in their compositions. I guess I'm trying to say that it's not like you're listening to just isolated, esoteric entities that don't have any meaning or anything like that. These are really practical things that you will notice and you'll pick up on, you will hear in student recitals, in concerts, faculty recitals, these kinds of things, because they're really used all over the place in music. So it's a really good skill to have, and that's kind of why we do this class. Now, as I'm looking at the clock, I see there's about 4 minutes left, and that is definitely not enough time to do a dictation, for instance, a rhythmic dictation. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop here. And again, don't forget about your rhythm video. If you haven't submitted that yet, it's due Thursday. And I'll see a lot of you for theory probably the next day. But if I don't, then I'll see you all Thursday for one of these classes again. And hopefully we'll have a few more students present for our next Aural skills class.